Okay, so I wanted to do a YouTube video of the Raspberry Pi 8-inch touchscreen display, which you see here. And I have a Raspberry Pi 2 hooked to it. The Raspberry Pi 3 is on back order, unfortunately, but the 2 works pretty good with this. And it's very easy to install. No soldering, just a few screws and running some cables. My son, Elijah, 11-year-old son, made this excellent case. This turned out really nicely. He loves to make my Lego cases, and you can see he surrounded the case, with the screen, and then back here has some cables hooked to it, so it's hard to see, but there's the Pi. Driver board's underneath it. It's got the power coming out from the bottom, Ethernet, USB keyboard, and there's the ribbon cable and the power that hooks up to it. I like it a lot. Really makes the Pi usable. And the screen, really high quality, very bright, very responsive. So I have a keyboard hooked up to it because the screen is only 800 by 480 resolution. It does have a on-screen keyboard, but it's kind of clunky. So that's what I have here. And you can see I'm running Chromium, which I installed. If you look around Google you'll see that you can install it. It works pretty well. I got the Google News site up, and here, if I open a new tab up, I can open up YouTube. And again, this is Raspberry Pi 2. I think it'll run even faster on Raspberry Pi 3 when I get that. So I'm looking forward to that. But it does play videos on YouTube now, which is something that's pretty incredible for a $35 computer. Yeah, it's good to watch. This doesn't really matter. Here's a good one. Good video to watch. It's coming up. One of the fastest internet in the world. And this is kind of taxing, but it does work okay. The moment I don't have any sound, but here I go into full screen mode and play again. See, it's pretty smooth. So there it is. Yep, National Week at the Labs. Hey, I was there for that. It's a pretty cool event. But you can see it's a nice tool, nice computer. For screen was $60 at MCM Electronics, and Raspberry Pi is $35, of course. But then you buy the flash card and the RAM. There I am, right there. Anyway, great little project. It was fun to see Eli build the case, and pretty snazzy computer. I was doing Gmail on it earlier, and it works really well in Chromium. So here's my Gmail over here. So here's an email about first Lego Leagues. Pretty exciting. My buddy Jerry. So you can see it just touchscreen, so I'm just using my finger. So I have a mouse hooked up. It's just the keyboard. And also, if you use one of these cell phone batteries, this is actually 1 amp, 5 volts. This will actually power the whole thing. I have it plugged in right now, but you can easily plug one of these in and power it on the go if you needed to. And of course the Raspberry Pi 3 will have wireless. This does not yet, but one day it'll have, when I get the Raspberry 3, it'll be wireless, which would be really cool. So I don't know of any other site. I guess one site that us geeks like to go to sometimes is Slashdot, and it is does have some JavaScript on it, so you can see how fast that loads. That's really pretty quick. And then, once a page loads, or even if it's not totally finished loaded, you can start scrolling up and down. Still loading. And up here, you can see the percentage of CPU utilization. And again, this site has a lot of ads and stuff. I am thinking about getting an ad blocker. I don't know if those work in Chrome. This is Chromium. They probably work in Chromium. But once it loads, it's pretty fast. The browser that comes with the Raspberry Pi now with Jesse for Raspbian is called Epiphany. And it's not bad either, but it's still a little clunky. It's got some glitches. I know they're going to get it fixed. And then it'll be pretty good. But here I'm paging up and down. It's pretty fast. And then you can see, you can bring up the terminal. And it's kind of fun to play with. So there's terminal, so I can type Python, think, and oops, GCC, I think C compiler's on there, yep, so pretty cool. You run top, see what's consuming the Pi. You see Chromium's the main thing, of course, but it's still running pretty good. It's pretty impressive. I like it. It's nice having the 4 cores, and the screen's really amazing. I think it's good value for $60. And it's kind of a cute little machine. I don't know how useful it really is. It's maybe more fun than anything. But it is pretty cool. So I don't know. I haven't even tried LibreOffice yet on it. See what it looks like. We'll see. We'll fire this up, see if I can do a little word processing. It's a fun project putting this together with your kids. If they're interested in computing, having them build a case for you. And I think actually I might take it apart and I got kind of excited and I put it together while Eli was sleeping, but I might take it apart and yeah, this program is very usable. It's really very nice, very responsive. I could write a paper on this. Hopefully the brightness, the quality of the screen is hard to describe. I don't know if it'll really come in the video, but it's a very high quality screen. And you can see how accurate the touch is. It's pretty accurate. I say that, and pretty responsive. It's supposed to be a 10-finger touch display. I don't know how you get touch with 10 fingers, but that's what it's supposed to be. And then I did have to do one thing in the configuration, which I wonder if I can find. Probably won't be able to find it now. So preferences, yeah, Raspberry Pi configuration. There's some overscan right here. You got to disable that. So when I first turned it on with the screen, it was kind of losing some pixels on the side. It wasn't bezel to bezel. So I read about it, and you just got to disable it, and then it'll go bezel to bezel, and it'll also be better calibrated with the touch. So it's something to think about. And so far, this is a really neat computer, and I'll come over here to Google. I'm gonna do this. Let's do Raspberry Pi. Again, this is the official Raspberry Pi display from the Raspberry Pi Foundation. Adafruit has some other displays. I've been looking at displays for a while, and what I liked about this one again was the fact that I didn't have to do any soldering. So I don't know how to solder very well. But this is a nice post about it, and sort of talk about the pluses and minuses of the different outputs and inputs on the Raspberry Pi, and they have a nice video of it too. Here's a picture of it. So that's the one you want to get. Here they are describing the different inputs and outputs available on the Pi, which is a lot. So and it's still loading. There's another YouTube video. I could play that. This is actually a pretty good one on the display. Shows you how to install it. But the website for MCM in Newark was pretty good. So I was able to follow that. No problems. But yeah, I'd recommend it. I think it's a fun thing to do. You know, it's nice that it's all enclosed. It's probably the best part. And not enclosed, but it's nice that it's all self-contained, and you just wire it up, 4 screws, and you're done. So there's lots of neat projects we can do with this. But I wanted to do a little video on it, just in case anybody wants to see the display, and also Chromium running on the Raspberry Pi. Pretty impressive. I think Chromium does a better job than Epiphany for now, but I could see Epiphany catching up. Anyway, catch you later.